Hello my friends, my name is EasyMathsTutor Ejiro John, and I want to solve some questions that have to do with indices and logarithms. But before I go ahead, let's establish some of the basic laws that will help us in solving these problems involving indices and logarithms. The first rule we are going to look at is the summation rule. Now, if we have a raised to power x, this means that you multiply a x times, a by itself x times, right? A by itself, how many times? X times. Now, how do we make an example of that? If we have a raised to power 3, our answer will be a times a times a. Or if we have 2 raised to power 3, this means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 8. That's the first rule. Now the second rule, if you have a raised to power, say n, times a raised to power m, the solution will be an raised to power n plus m, right? That means if a is multiplied n times, if you add up all together, it will give us what? A raised to power n plus m. Okay? So let's look for an example of that. Let's assume it's 2 raised to power 2 times 2 raised to power 3. What would our answer be? We'll say 2 raised to power 2, which is 2 times 2, right? And 2 raised to power 3, which is 2 times 2 times 2, right? So if we count it, how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that will be equal to 2 raised to power 5. If you add up 2 and 3, what do you have? 5. So that implies that it is 2 raised to power 2 plus 3, giving us 2 raised to power 5. Okay? So that's our second rule. So our third rule, if we say a raised to power n divided by a raised to power m, our answer should be a raised to power n minus m. Okay? So let's give an example. Let's assume that it's, let's say, 3 raised to power 5 divided by 3 raised to power 3. Okay? So let's apply the rule. That will be 3 raised to power 5 minus 3, which will give us 3 raised to power 2. Okay? So now let's prove it. Prove that is right. 3 raised to power 5, that is 3 times 3, 5 times 3 times 3 times 3 all over 3 times 3 times 3. Okay? So if we cancel out, what do we have? 3 cancel 3, 3 will cancel 3, 3 will cancel 3, giving us with how many? 1 and 2. Okay? So our answer is what? 3 raised to power 2, just as we established at the beginning. Okay? So that's the rule. These are the 3 basic rules of indices. And then we have some other rules. We have the quotient rule, which states that if a is equal to 1 over n, it is the same thing as the root n times of that number. Okay? For example, if a is equal to 1 over 2, that means we are looking for the square root of a. Okay? And this quotient rule goes further to state that if a raised to power 1 over n is multiplied by a power raised to power m, the answer will be a raised to power m all over n. This implies that it is the square root of a in n places in brackets of what? M. And then we have the negative quotient or the negative rule. Okay? So that rule says that if a is equal to minus n, then we have 1 all over a n. Okay? Example, if you have 2 raised to power minus 2, then it's the same thing as 1 all over 2 raised to power 2. Okay? So these are the rules.